Welcome to you all. I am Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, today we are going to start our third chapter in book second, that is drainage system. Today we will say its first part. Okay. So as in your previous classes you have already studied about the drainage system. So what is new in this chapter? So let's see what we are going to study today in our this video. As you can see, I have mentioned here few topics through which we will know what is drainage. Okay, so at first we will see the introduction of the chapter, in which we will see what is drainage and what are the important features of the drainage system. In the second topic, drainage system of India through map, we will understand this topic, in which we will see how the drainage system of India is working. Then after that, in this drainage system of India, we will cover two more subtopics. The first subtopic is the Himalayan drainage, and the second subtopic is evolution of the Himalayan drainage. So these are our today's topic. So let's start from our today's first topic, that is introduction. So students, let's see what is drainage. Drainage, the flow of water through well-defined channels, is called drainage, and the network of such channels is called a drainage system. So an area drained by a river is called a watershed, which is divided by a line that separates the watershed of one river from the adjoining ones. It is also known as the catchment area. The drainage pattern of an area is the outcome of the geological time period, nature and structure of rocks, slope, topography, amount of water flowing and the periodicity of the flow. So here we can say the term drainage describes the river system of an area. So what is the drainage system which is described by the river? Let's see through this picture. The drainage pattern resembling the branches of a tree is called a dendritic pattern, the example of which are the river of northern plains. When the primary tributaries of rivers flow parallel to each other and secondary tributaries join them at right angles, the pattern is known as trellis. When the river originate from a hill and flow in all directions, the drainage pattern is known as a radial pattern. The rivers origin from the Amarkantak range present a good example of radial drainage. Okay, so let's see what is the fourth one. When the rivers discharge their waters from all direction in a lake or depression, the pattern is known as central pattern. So let's see now the division of the drainage system. Students, the Indian drainage system may be divided on various bases. On the basis of discharge, it can be divided into two parts. First, the Arabian Sea drainage, and the second is Bay of Bengal drainage. They are separated from each other through the Delhi Ridge, the Aravalli and the Sahyadri. So let's see how they are divided and separated with each other through this map. 77% of the drainage area consisting of the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, the Mahanadi, the Krishna, etc. is originate towards the Bay of Bengal. 23% comprising the Indus, the Narmada, the Tapi, the Mahi and the Periyar system discharge their water in the Arabian Sea. So students, if we will talk about the watersheds on the basis of the size of watersheds, the drainage basins of India are grouped into 3 categories. These are the major river basins, second the medium river basins and the third is minor river basins. Okay, so that we will see what are these river basins through this given picture.
India has 113 river basins, of which 14 are large, 44 medium and 55 minor river basins. The major river basins from about 84% of the total drainage area of the country. The 3 major river systems, Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra, are international rivers.
So students, if we want to divide the drainage system on the basis of regional distribution, it can be divided into 2 major parts. That first is the North Indian drainage system and the second is the South Indian drainage system. So what are these drainage system and what is the location of these drainage system on the map? Let's see through these given maps.
Drainage system of North India. The Himalayas play an important role in the drainage system of North India. This is because the rivers of North India have their sources in these mountains and beyond. These rivers differ from those of South India as they are still depending their valleys rather rapidly. Drainage system of Southern India. The streams flowing through this region are in their old stage. They have almost attained their base level of erosion. Now these streams are eroding their sides at a slow pace. This is resulting in the broadening of their valleys.
So students, to know more about the drainage system of India, let's move to our next topic, that is drainage system of India. The Indian drainage system consists of a large number of small and big rivers. It is the outcome of evolutionary process of the major physiographic units. So today we will discuss its first part, that is the Himalayan drainage system. That is the Himalayan drainage system. So now today we are going to discuss the Himalayan drainage system. So students, if we will talk about the Himalayan drainage system, the Himalayan drainage mainly includes the 3 rivers. These are the Ganga, the Indus and the Brahmaputra river basins. It has a long geological history which we can see through this given picture. Students, river from giant gorges, V-shaped valleys, rapids and waterfalls in their mountains course, and while entering the field they form deposition features like the valleys, oxbow lakes, and the flood plains. So, to know about the process of the Himalayan drainage system, let's move to the topic, the evolution of the Himalayan drainage, in which we will see the origin of Himalayan drainage system.
Students, there are differences in the opinions about the evolution of the Himalayan rivers. However, geologists believe that a mighty river called Shivalik or Indo-Brahma traversed the entire longitudinal extent of Himalayas from Assam to Punjab and onward to Sindh and finally led into the Gulf of Sindh some 5 to 24 million years ago. The remarkable continuity of the Shivalik and its lacustrine origin and alluvial deposits consisting of sands, silt, clay, boulders, and conglomerates supports this viewpoint. In due course of time, Indo-Brahma River was dismembered into three main drainage systems. These drainage systems are: number 1, the stretch of the Brahmaputra in Assam and its Himalayan tributaries in the eastern part. Number 2, the Ganga and its Himalayan tributaries in the central part. And the number 3, the Indus and its 5 tributaries in the western part. Students, this dismembrance changed direction of present Ganga and Yamuna. According to this theory, the Ganga was the tributary of Indus before this event took place and had south westerly course. This interchange of tributaries between the Indus and the Ganga systems in the region lying between the headstream of the Satluj and Yamuna has been a common phenomenon in the geological recent past. But there were few arguments which were against the theory. The theory of Indo-Brahma has not been accepted universally. It has been challenged on the following grounds. Firstly, the concept of such a mighty river, Indo-Brahma, flowing all along the longitudinal extent of Himalayas is not possible. The occurrence of Shivalik alluvial deposit might have been formed by successive deposition of alluvial fans by the rivers flowing down the Himalayan slopes. And secondly, the evidence furnished by the depositional history in the Ganga Delta and in the Assam does not prove this concept, as the deposits in the gap laying between the two projections of the peninsular block, Rajmahal Hills and Shillong Plateau, have been composed of thick alluvium old than that suggested by the Indo-Brahma theory. And thirdly, the evidence of Tipan sandstone of Assam has not been accepted by this theory. The Himalayan drainage consists of several river systems, which we will study in our next video.
So for that, keep watching SST Zone.